Welcome back, or welcome for the first time if you're new here. It's great to have you. So most people save money by making a budget, not going out as much, clipping coupons, but not the people in today's show, extreme cheapskates. Their ways of saving money are very unique, but in some cases also equally disturbing. You'll see what I mean later. So the episode that we're going to watch today is actually from season 3, and it's episode 2, In Sickness and in Wealth. So join me as we watch extreme cheapskates today. So the first family in this episode, they don't even introduce us. We just get right to the batshit crazy, straight to business. Okay, so what he's attempting to do here is make dry ice from a fire extinguisher. I've heard that's possible, but I've never known anyone who's actually done it. I guess at least he's safe about it. I'm not sure how much of the fire extinguisher he actually has to use, because they don't tell us. All said and done, this might end up being more costly than actually just buying dry ice. Fire extinguishers are pretty expensive, am I wrong? Who needs dry ice this often that they've made like a routine for how to get their dry ice? The only reasonable explanation that someone would use dry ice on the regular is if you're hosting parties all the time. And that must be what he's doing, because look at him. He looks like a party man if I ever saw one.
All the single ladies, all the single ladies.
So we eventually find out that the first cheapskate's name is Karen.
We don't buy dry ice. We make it ourselves.
Yeah, her name is Karen.
There's many ways of saving money by using dry ice. You can fix small dents on cars, package goods for mailing, and also as a mosquito deterrent.
She comes up with some things that you can use dry ice for. I get that. None of those are things that I would or do often enough that it's going to make a difference. And I really doubt that she does either.
This one here?
That one right there.
Medical gown in the middle of her home. Is this going to get really messy? Because what else is that for? Go put on some comfy PJs. Those medical gowns suck.
With dry ice, you can also remove moles and skin tags.
All right, I get it. There's uses for dry ice. I still don't think it's worth buying a fire extinguisher for, but, you know, opinions may vary.
With the help of her husband, Grant, she removes moles at home. It saves her over $2,000 a year in medical costs.
Now, if medical bills are their number one concern, as far as money, then maybe, just maybe, some of the things that you're doing to save money are actually hurting you more. And, maybe these just aren't the best things to be saving money on. Maybe you should cut corners other places.
My mom has medical procedures done here. I'm a bit concerned.
Sir, those were not statements, those were questions. Judging by that son's reaction, he does not live in the house. And this is the first time he's finding out that his mom has medical procedures done, because he looks totally thrown off. My mom has medical procedures here, and I'm a little concerned.
I'm an electrician. I'm industrial electrician.
I love how they have to have the dad tell us that he's an electrical engineer, which means he has no fucking idea what he's doing.
Over the years, I've been saving small items from the doctor's office. Most people don't know that you can ask for your gowns after a procedure. 9 times out of 10, they're willing to give you that. The 1 time out of 10 is if they've got bodily fluids on them.
Do you think she would take them home if there wasn't bodily fluids on them? Because I think she probably would at this point, and I've only known this lady for, 60 seconds?
I think my mother is maybe a bit obsessed with saving money, though.
Applicators, tongue depressors, sterilized, of course.
What are you gonna do with all those tongue depressors at home? You could make a popsicle stick house.
My most favorite thing to get from the doctor's office. I sterilize them before I use them a second time.
When you're just in a cloud of your own savings euphoria.
How do I save money on syringes is I get friends to give them to me after they're finished, and then of course I sterilize them with rubbing alcohol. You can safely use this up to 4 times.
How does the risk of contracting some kind of disease not outweigh the 2 cents a week that you save on needles. They're not that expensive. Oh, this is frustrating me already.
Nothing surprises me anymore. I can come home and I can see something here and I said, well, it's Karen, you know.
I think the qualifications to be on the show is that your spouse must also be your personal biatch. They just do whatever their weird cheapskate husband or wife is wanting to do, and they just go along for the ride. Hell no.
A first aid kit for the home can cost up to $215.
Who the hell's paying $215 for a first aid kit? Is it military grade? Now they're just being extreme about that price tag too.
Take the pickle, place the pickle on your skin, tape it down. Leave it on for 20 minutes and you're good to go.
I do not like pickles. I don't like to eat them. I don't want them rubbed on me. I don't want pickles on me.
Do you think that this is because his whole childhood, his mom's been doing this, so he's just absolutely traumatized by it and wants nothing to do with pickles anymore? I mean, I think that's probably what it is.
Pickles are great for bug bites. A jar of pickles will run $1.49 at the store.
How much does toothpaste cost?
As long as you place the pickle back into the jar and it's got access to vinegar, you can reuse this over and over and over.
How many times do you think she re-puts those pickles in there? Are they like 5-year-old pickles that she's still reusing? Can you imagine they have guests over for a barbecue? Someone goes in the fridge to get pickles for their burger. Oh. That makes me nauseous.
This helps me sleep at night because I have sleep apnea. I bought this machine at a yard sale and paid $15. New, it was $2,500. This is the mask. A person is recommended to change a mask every 6 months. I had this mask since 2007,
Yeah.
and the gel is actually leaking.
How comfortable can that be with that tape all over it at night? That's gonna scratch the hell out of your face.
Now that it's taped, it's good to go.
Are they fucking with us? No way she really uses this. Okay, she proved me wrong. She put it on. I guess she does use it. I don't know how she possibly can.
I've saved over $3,000.
I've saved over $3,000.
But for larger, more serious problems, even Karen will succumb to the occasional visit to the doctor's office.
You think? I figured, she could do any procedure at home by this point. Sew a finger back on, deliver a baby.
I saved thousands of dollars on not going to the doctor and the dentist.
Do you though? Do you, Karen?
Recently, I've encountered a really bad toothache. I've tried everything over the counter and nothing worked. And I finally gave up. I just had to go to the dentist.
Worst day of Karen's life. She is so defeated by this.
All right, Karen. Well, you definitely have an abscess on that tooth, okay?
All right.
You've got to do something or it's going to keep bothering you.
She has an abscess. That can be dangerous.
What I recommend you do is do a root canal on this tooth and then put a crown on it.
That dentist is regretting saving money right now, too, on that haircut.
But what's it gonna cost?
Well, you're looking at about $1,800.
No, Karen, you cannot do that at home. Okay, maybe you can, but I don't recommend it. I guarantee her husband cannot do a root canal in this woman's mouth. I am going to be floored if he can. Floored.
Well, a cheaper option is to pull the tooth, but once we pull it, it's gone.
How much is that gonna cost me?
About $185.
We just knocked $1,800 down to $185, and that still doesn't do it for her. Ma'am, that's a $1,600 savings now. Still no?
Would it be cheaper if I went without any anesthesia?
That's not a good idea. You're not going to be able to stand the pain if you try to pull this tooth without numbing it up.
All right, so back to the anesthesia. She needs to realize the severity of this.
This is an elevator. That's what we put down into the gums and twist it against the bone, and it actually pushes the tooth out of the socket until I can grab it with this forceps that actually wiggles the tooth out, and then we pull it out.
Well, that just looks like a pair of pliers.
Well, how about the ice pick that you got to put in your gums, Karen? Did you forget about that? Because he just said it. Just said it.
Well, can I take the tools home with me after I'm done?
No, they're my instruments. That's what I used on everybody. We have to sterilize them each time.
I bet the dentist at this point is wondering if he's being pranked. He's never had a client in his 30 years of practice ask him some of these questions before. I'm sure of it.
Can I think on it?
You know she ain't going back.
I mean, you take your time, but the longer you wait, probably the more it's going to start hurting.
I think I want you to take my tooth out.
That poor man's like, fuck, not again. Damn it.
Karen Hearn and her husband have performed various medical procedures at their home before.
I'm sorry, but why do you need to be sitting on medical paper if you're getting your tooth taken out? Am I being dumb on this one? I don't think I am.
But now, for the first time, they're attempting a tooth extraction with the aid of some online videos.
I don't like the idea of pulling my wife's teeth out. What if I pull the wrong one or something, you know?
Why are you letting this man do any dental work on you? He's afraid he's gonna pull out the wrong tooth.
But my wife threatened to take her own tooth out, so this needs to be taken care of.
Benzocaine is a numbing agent. I'm going to use benzocaine to numb up my gum so that when my husband pulls my tooth, I won't feel anything.
Isn't that just the stuff that you get over the counter for a tiny bit of tooth pain? Not an entire tooth extraction? I'm pretty sure.
The extraction will actually take place using this barber's tool. We found it at a yard sale.
Do you think she told the person at the yard sale that she bought this from what she was actually going to use it for? They must have looked at her like she was out of her gourd. Because she is out of her gourd.
I'm building a vacuum for her mouth. I'm using a regular vacuum cleaner. And I'm going to stick that in part of the mouth and we can suck out the blood and whatever.
Yes, the vacuum that's not intended to suck up liquid. Good.
And a straw with duct tape, which makes a good seal.
He's like a kid with a new toy. It's probably the first new thing he's gotten in ages. The straw I'm talking about, of course. But at least he's using a clean straw in the end and not just using the vacuum. Straws cost money. She might be mad about this one. I don't know. Can't wait to see.
Just regular cola. Phosphorus acid in the cola dissolves the rust in the metal.
Do you think the crew's gonna stop this at any point, or are they just gonna let this happen?
Scrape it off with aluminum foil. Rubbing alcohol will complete the sterilization of these instruments.
Perfect time to de-rust the pliers that are gonna rip the tooth out of my wife's mouth. 5 minutes before the procedure. I couldn't have done it yesterday or a week ago. I also didn't know if this was gonna work 100%, so good thing it did because we were doing it regardless.
I'm ready as I will ever be.
This man has just learned to adapt to this style of living, and now I think he's just okay with it.
Karen's dentist would have charged $185 for the tooth extraction. But because she already had most of the supplies on hand, the procedure will only cost $10.
Most of the supplies on hand. Yeah, but the wrong supplies.
Nervous?
A little. But I know I'm in good hands.
I don't think this man has a choice in whether he does this or not. Just the feeling I get.
Comfortable?
Yes.
How's your mouth?
It's numb.
All right, right, so I've answered my own question. Nobody from the crew is gonna step in and stop this. It's just gonna happen. It's just gonna happen. All right. The music. I do hope she realizes how expensive dentures are, because that's where she's headed with this dental care.
Pain only lasts a short time. But saving that money lasts so much longer. Even if I won the lottery today, I wouldn't change.
Really? You wouldn't change if you won $100 million. You would still squirrel away those used gloves and syringes? And you're gonna make your husband do that nonsense still? Come on. This is not just being a cheapskate. This woman needs help.
Don't ever ask me to do this again.
He well knows she is gonna ask him to do that again. And again. And again. Oh, we're not done yet. We've got another cheapskate for you. Our next cheapskate, his name is Barry. Barry has a fiance. She tolerates him. Somehow. Let's see what crazy practices Barry's got up his sleeves. Huh?
Both people on my neck, bro?
Yes, sir. As long as this don't touch your neck, we're good.
Either my hairdresser did the same thing when I was younger, or they feel identical. I'm not sure which. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not rough. Just use Cottonelle.
Barry owns a barbershop. He makes money. The man feels that he just needs to save money.
Barry's a cheap barber because he adds water into the alcohol, so it don't really kill germs no more. It's just water.
And the Board of Health was there an hour later to shut down Barry's business. Thanks, buddy. Barry's not going to be a barber for much longer.
When we cut hair, here, I'll finish a customer. Here come. I take my customer's hair and put it in the bag so he can sell it.
How much I can get in the garbage bag is about $300, $400.
Is there an underground hair selling ring that I don't know about? Because that's wild. I've never heard of someone being able to sell hair before. Hey, if you've got it, why not? It's his barbershop. You can make that much money from hair. I would do it too. That's not being a cheapskate. That's being practical.
This is how Barry proposed to Gabriella. Barry gets down on one knee and pulls out a ring box.
This box right here will let you know exactly how cheap yet special Barry is.
Maybe she means he really is just special and doesn't know any better. We don't know.
Hands me this box. He asks me to take his hand in marriage.
She opens the box.
And this is what I saw. Nothing. There was nothing in the box.
That's really mean. An empty box? Come on. You get a girl's hopes up for nothing. She can't even tell her family and friends now. What's she gonna tell them? Oh, Barry proposed. Oh my God, what kind of ring did he get you? He didn't. Well, what did he propose with? An empty box? You can't say that to your family and friends. That's embarrassing. That is embarrassing, Barry.
And there's a note in the box, a receipt.
There's no ring because typical Barry has the ring on layaway.
Layaway? What year are we in? I know this is an older show, but layaway? Why don't you just wait until you can pay off the ring? Instead of an empty box. I would have preferred just like a cheap ring from a toy machine or a ring pop even. That's better than nothing. But maybe he's that big of a cheapskate like the last lady that he can't even spend that. Because that would be extra. That'd be extra on top of the ring he already has on layaway, which is probably a $50 cubic zirconia from Kmart. That's my guess. That's my guess.
I owe $170 on that ring.
Okay, there it is. It's $170. So I was off by a little bit. A little bit.
Barbershop owner Barry Cosart lives in Queens, New York with his fiancée. And although his customers tolerate him cutting both hair and costs, Gabriella does not.
Yes, she does. Yes, she does. Or she wouldn't be there dealing with all this bullshit. Because there's more bullshit coming.
To save on toilet tissue, I use 10 pieces, 10 squares every day. That's a daily routine. Sometimes Gabriella, she's like, no, and we get in a little argument over that, a little petty, but I try to save as much as possible.
Do you think he rations the food there too? This place is worse than prison.
House is a fucking prison on planet bullshit! In the galaxy of this sucks camel dicks!
Barry can be so cheap
It drives me crazy. Barry leaves me with 10 pieces of toilet paper.
If I were his fiance, wife, girlfriend, whoever, I would be making dinners every night that gave this man diarrhea. Because 10 pieces of toilet paper? You want to be like that? There you go, Barry. Good luck with that. Good luck having diarrhea with 10 pieces of toilet paper. I hope they're single ply too.
Now, my payback to Barry, I leave him with absolutely nothing. I'll use all of it, just so he can see how it feels when you're stranded on a toilet bowl.
Oh, I didn't realize this was a joint venture. I thought that they each got 10 pieces of toilet paper. They have to share 10 pieces of toilet paper? If he's that strict about it and she's saying she leaves him none, what's this man doing? Barry? That's disgusting. Stop wiping your ass with your hands. Because what other way is he doing it? Sticking his ass in the shower? Why don't you just get a bidet, sir? There's no toilet paper cost involved. Just the cost of the bidet, the initial cost. But hey, guess what, Barry? You can probably put it on layaway.
We have this huge hole in the ceiling. If I hire a carpenter to fix that leak in the ceiling, it'll cost hundreds of dollars. But if I get duct tape and cardboard, fix the problem, it'll cost me $1.
Uh-huh, and do you know how much it's gonna cost when you have no ceiling left in the house? A lot more money than that. That's what I know.
Sooner or later, that cardboard is gonna come caving in on someone's head.
That thing caves in. It's gonna soak someone in some asbestos-filled water. That's not safe. He's really not looking out for anybody but himself. Let's be real.
I make my own alcohol. One night at a bar, if you buy liquor and beers, it can run you up to $50 to $75 to $100 a night. All these ingredients here is no more than like $5.
I really wonder what it tastes like. I might try some. It doesn't seem bad, but the Jolly Ranchers, I don't think that was a wise choice.
The sugar and the candy, it makes it really sweet and helps ferment it.
Sugar in water.
Give me sugar and water.
If I go to the liquor store and buy real wine, that'll be about $15 to $20 or more. So I save a lot with doing this. Let it sit, room temperature, and there go the hooch.
If he's really just letting it go to room temperature like that and he's not letting it actually ferment, then Barry, you are getting drunk by a placebo effect and have been for most of your life, if this is how you've been drinking it.
But it's actual food costs, which can eat up approximately 12% of a person's annual income that he finds hard to swallow.
But do you know how much of a person's income an animal eats up? No? Okay.
How about we actually go out and eat?
All right, let's go and eat this.
But rather than going out to eat, Barry has discovered a way to go out and then eat.
It's gonna be good.
So yeah, technically you're still going out to eat. He's right.
By cooking simple ingredients on the engine, he saves on home utilities.
Cooking it at home versus using the gas in the car to get there and keep it running so that it's hot still. There's no way this is saving money. There's no way. If you already happen to be there and have to warm up your car anyways, then I can see it saving money. He's not saving any money. No. He's only saving money versus going out to eat. This is just uncomparable to going out to eat. This is only comparable to eating at home, so sorry, you're not saving any money.
Cooking eggs, sweetheart.
You know, I know Barry, and I know how he is, and I don't know why I expected something more than this.
She's not even annoyed. She's just like, oh yeah, that's my special Barry again. You know, good for her if she can live like this. I couldn't do it. I wouldn't last a day in that house. She probably has only known him for a little while. She thinks this is charming and cute now. Give it 3 years. It's not going to be charming and cute then because he's probably going to cut back on costs even further because retirement's coming.
Gabriella hates my cheap ways. She knows that's just how I am. I just love saving money. I love being cheap. That's just me.
My fiance hates my cheap ways, which is part of everything I do in life. But she's just gonna deal with it. I don't know how these significant others do it. I I don't even believe it. I don't even believe it. I feel like maybe they had to hire an actress off the street to pretend to be his fiance because nobody can put up with that shit. The amount of money he's saving versus the potential fight he's going to get into with his fiance later. You know, you would think that you would just be like, okay, we're gonna have something a little bit better, baby, because I love you. Because I love you. I think he only loves himself and his money. But alas.
Barry will never change his cheapskate ways. I don't think he's capable of it.
All right, so wasn't that fun? Did you learn any money-saving tips? No? Me neither. But I guess we can't have it all. The entertainment factor in this show is absolutely undeniable. And I hope you feel the same way about this show. And if you do, don't forget to subscribe and give us a like. And make sure you come back next week because there'll be a new episode. Thanks for joining me today. Bye now.